What is up guys, Jordan here, welcome to today's video, and today we are going to be talking about pets in Wizard 101, and more particularly how to make a perfect pet, guys. Pretty experienced with making pets, been doing it for a few years, have quite a few great pets, and I have a strategy that I guarantee will allow you guys to increase the amount of perfect pets you guys are making on your account. So without further ado, let's get right into it. This is one of my lower level characters, so PvP I use ward pets on this type of level. Got a little bit of damage and power pip in there, but I intended for these exact stats. Same with this pet and this pet and this pet and this pet. This is actually a clone of this pet right here, and I've never really had a pet fail, and it's because I've been using a strategy that I learned way back in the day, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it works for me every single time. I've never had a pet fail using this strategy, and so I just really wanted to share it with you guys. And there's two different little variations of the strategy as well. So one way is a classic way, which is going here to the hatchery, finding another player. Let's say you liked his pet, you wanted his or her stats, you hatch with them, you hope for those stats, you hatch again. If you get them, that's awesome, and you keep going until you get the stats you want. But Wizard 101 implemented this new way of doing things, which I think is a lot more efficient and nicer and also more affordable. And that is the pet booth, actually. So you can come here and you can choose pets from any school. We got fire, ice, storm, myth, life, death, balance, and hybrid, which is a mixture of all of them, but that are hybrids, you know, school pets. One strategy you guys can be using that works out every single time for me is to come in here, find, you know, what pet you want. So you find what school it is, and you go through here, you find what pet you want. So let's just say we were a storm, and here, Glamoring Goldshire, that's a really nice storm pet, and I want that pet. Alright, so now we go to browse pet type, and so we go through, these are all the players that have posted their pets, and so we go through here, we find which one, you know, has the stats that we want. And so we got a nice triple damage, double critical here. So if we wanted that one, we would hatch, and I would take that pet to adult, and then I would go back here, I'd find that same exact pet, and I would take it, I would hatch, and then I would take that pet to ancient, and then I would hatch again, take it to epic, and then you hatch one more time at epic for a backup, you know, just in case, because you got to remember it is a chance. But personally, using this strategy, I have never had a pet fail. So and then you hatch, and then you take that pet to mega, and then you should have the identical stats, if not better, than the pet that you have been cloning or hatching with. So that's the strategy that I've been using, guys. And again, it's worked out for me, you know, I'll just go ahead and say 99% of the time, because there might have been 1 or 2 times it didn't, but I've made hundreds of pets, you know, between all the years and all my characters, and I've had a high success rate in getting the exact stats that I've wanted. So again, guys, hatch a pet in the booth, you know, or you have somebody that will hatch with you repeatedly, you know, that works too. But I think the booth works out better because you can pick, you know, from all sorts of pets, and then you take it to adult, hatch again, ancient, again, epic, again, mega. And again, guys, you know, if this helped you, I'm really glad it did, and, you know, leave a like and a subscribe, and I would really appreciate that. Until next time, guys, take care.